Right. Let's rock and roll. Let me know if you hear me. Let me know in the chat if you hear me. Okay, I see. All right, we can hear you. Okay. Miss Austin, I see you. All right. So, Miss Austin, Miss Dyer, Miss Mullins, and a few more. All right, Miss Wiggins. Okay. I want to talk about 10 reasons that I'm just going to go over 10 that people never really listen. And they can be never listen to you or just never listen, period. When you're presenting or when you're talking to them about your business, it's a number of reasons, but we're going to do 10 tonight. I'm going to try to do 10. I don't take too long. But I'm going to do a countdown. I go 10, 9, 8. I go backwards, okay? All right, so number 10. People have so much on their mind. They're doing all this multitasking that they can't hear you. It's so many things going on when you're talking to them, especially if you're talking to them over the phone and you don't see them. If you're talking to them in person, you could see in their eyes that they're thinking about a million things. But if you're talking to them on the phone, you notice, and you might be doing the same thing. I talk to people and they're doing 3 different things. They're on TikTok, on their phone. They're talking to their kids. If they're driving, they're talking to somebody driving down the road. Get out the way. It's like, it's so many things going on that people are doing that they don't they're never really focused on your conversation. And that's why we have to get good at our conversation and get good at that, because, and it still doesn't mean that, people are going to stop and listen, because they're multitasking. They're thinking, I wonder did that money hit my account. They're thinking, I wonder, I got to go by the grocery store to pick some stuff up. They're thinking, damn, did I leave that gate open? Rex might be running down the street biting people. Rex, the German Shepherd. Back in the day, that's what Rex, the German Shepherds were Rex, Killer. What was the other German Shepherd name? Because, walking home from school, if you see the gate open, oh God, Killer's loose. So we'll turn around, walk, and in the 4th, 5th grade, we'll walk all the way back around the back way because we didn't want to get killed. So I left the gate open. So, people thinking all kind of stuff while they talking to you. My show coming on tonight, and you talking to them, you so serious about your business and about your whatever you presenting to them, and they got all kind of stuff on their mind, because it is not important to them at that point. Whatever you're talking to them about, it's really not important to them at that point, because it's just something they're just hearing about. So it's hard for people to listen now because it's so many things pulling our attention, and so many things going through our minds. So understand that when you're talking to people, that's why you have to keep saying things, because people don't hear what you're saying, they hear what you keep saying. People don't see what you're doing, they see what you keep doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep. That's it, because you think that people have it, but they don't. I'll ask people sometimes at the end of our conversation, hey, do me a favor. Can you run that back to me, what I just said? And they'll try, and it's like, nah, they didn't even hear it. Or they might get mad at you when you say it because they know they didn't hear it. So you have to understand that it's a lot of things going on in folks' head now. So it's hard for them to listen. I mean, you got to, look at me. Hey, come on back over here. Look at me. Wait. Hold on. Did you hear what I just said? Hey, we all are like that. We all are doing other things. We all multitasking. And it's almost a trigger word that has to be said to grab somebody's attention. And you don't know what that trigger word is. You just don't know. That's why you have to keep saying it. Some people, income might trigger them. Some people, I don't know, helping people might trigger them. Something has to get a person in line to listen. To get them focused. Because you got to understand, it's a lot of stuff going on. So number 10, people got a lot of things on their mind. All right, number 9. This is if you're talking to them in person. Maybe even on a Zoom. You ready? Your physical appearance looks so bad, it's disgusting. They can't listen to you because they're looking at you. You look awful. And you're not concerning yourself with how you, that's how, how people, I used to tell my wife all the time, if you're going to run out the house, down to the grocery store, don't put on no gear with the business company name on there. Please don't. And don't put some shades on or something. Let somebody see, because you're going to run up on somebody and you just want to run to the store and you look jacked up, from front to back. And now you see somebody and then you have the nerve. Some people have the nerve to want to talk to them about their business looking like, a hot mess. A hot mess. That was a commercial out a couple of years ago where a guy was on the train, and I think he was in New York somewhere, and he was talking to a lady sitting next to him, and he had a con game going. He was trying to con her out of her money on some kind of insurance thing he had, and the lady was looking him up and down, and the commercial said, "It's certain things you can do on the phone that you can't do in person." Because the dude looked tore up. His shoes was beat up. His clothes was beat up. And she was looking at him like, I ain't about to give you my money. Now, that same slick talk he was using, he could have done that over the phone. But your visual is so important. People judge you on that. Now, there's a difference in being relaxed, casual. But when you just looking tore up, and you might be smelling bad, you don't have no deodorant on, you just look wore out. You wearing some shoes that, the heels are just worn down on one side. You walking with a limp because the heels are just beat up on one side. Like that guy in that car, somebody asked me how to get rich. But your physical appearance is so disgusting, nobody wants to hear from you. And don't act like it ain't important. Man, I don't know how many conversations I've had, and I'm just not talking about guys, I'm talking about ladies too. When they go to the airport with those, I had one lady I picked up that came from somewhere, and she had what's that thing y'all be wearing on your head? I'm like, you flew all the way from DC to Atlanta with that on your head? Well, yeah, I got to get dressed when I get to the hotel for the meeting. No. You should have been dressed on the flight. You can't wear that. You know how y'all be wearing the house shoes and flip-flops everywhere? It's disgusting. And then you try to talk to people about their business. You can't do that. You know what I'm talking about. What's the thing y'all wear on your head? I might be hitting a sore spot for some of y'all now. What's that thing? Somebody put it in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Bonnets. There you go. There you go. Them bonnets. You can't. Your physical appearance is the reason why people are not listening. It's so important. All right, number 8. You speak too softly or too loudly. You ever been in a restaurant and the guy just, hey, man, I got this business, man. I'm gonna tell you about this thing, man. See what you do is it. Or you in there, yeah. I started with this company about, a few days ago. And you speaking too softly, or you speaking too loudly. You have to monitor that, because if a person has to struggle to hear you, what they're thinking is you really don't believe in what you're doing. And if you're talking too loud, they really can't hear you because they're concerned about what everybody else doing, looking at you like, why are you talking so loud like that? It's important that we monitor that. Because you wonder, I wonder why the person ain't listening. You loud. Or you talking too softly, like you don't believe in the business. Or you don't believe in what you're doing. And you wonder, what, I got some good information. Yeah, but they didn't hear you. I had a partner of mine that every time he did a presentation, he was loud as hell. And I used to have to make sure that we were somewhere where it was just us, not in a public place, because he would never tone it down. My voice carries. I know my voice carries. So a lot of times I really have to monitor myself if I'm sitting around people, because I know it carries. My dad's voice was like that. It just carries. This dude's voice, good God, it was just, and every time I tell him, he's like, and we kind of act like that ain't important. Oh, it's very important when you're talking to people. You never know what's the reason, but these are some of them. We need to address these so we can make sure that we got to make sure that when a person rejects us, that it has nothing to do with us. It's just them. We want to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure it has nothing to do with us. And if we monitor these things and look at these things, because they're important. They're really important. And we also have to know these things. We've got to know people got a million things on their mind. Don't think that because we're so excited about what we're doing that everybody else is going to be excited. We got to make them excited, but they got to first get the information, and we got to make sure that we know what's going on. Person got a million things going through their mind. Our physical appearance has to be important. Are we too loud? Or are we speaking too softly? Number 7, your reputation. Your reputation is bad. And you know it's bad. And you wonder why people don't want to deal with you. There's some things you've done in the past. And that's why you have to understand okay, if my reputation is like this, I'm gonna have to figure out another way to get people to see what I'm doing. You could be known as the party animal. You could be known as that person that just, I don't know, get drunk all the time. And now here you come talking to me about a business. You got to know what your reputation is. Now, some people lie and some people will exaggerate your reputation, but I'm just saying you have to know if what you're known for. A lot of times, with my reputation, people know that I've done and been doing network marketing. So it's a lot of times I have to backdoor people. Because when I call, if they see me calling, normally I'm not calling. Like one of my partners said, I called him one day. He said, I asked him what he was doing. He said, Tony, no, we don't need to do no small talk. What you got? He's like, don't even, I know what you're calling for, man. And that's why I have to kind of figure out ways to backdoor people and have them kind of reach out to me more, because if I call, that's what I've been doing for 25 years. He killed me with that. I laughed so hard. You trying to do small talk? Man, go and get to what you call for. What you got? But if you got a reputation of not being serious, I don't know. I mean, whatever it is, a lot of times people don't want to listen because they know. I've had people tell me literally, like if I did a 3-way call with you, and they would literally call me back, and I hate this part too. I really do, especially if they knew me and they knew the person who did a 3-way. They would call me back and say, Tony, I'm just being honest with you. Sheila, I don't want to deal with her, even though she called me, because I know she's going to quit next week. And I know she ain't going to stay long. And so I hate that she called me and put me on the phone with you. But if I'm going to do this, I don't want to deal with her. So now I'm in a pickle, because I can't do it. I can't sign you up. But Sheila's reputation, I know who she is. Or she always started mess. And that's going to be mess right there, because that person wants to do it, but they don't want to do it now. Now the next thing Sheila going to say is, "Oh, Tony, you did that. You the one. I ain't got nothing to do with it. No, you did it." So your reputation led her to say, If I had people say that about me, like not that particular thing, but I've had people say information that's not true, and folks would say certain things, and I'll be like, for me, I don't care. If you hear something and you feel like it's not, then do what you got to do. But most people don't feel that way, because most people don't feel like they're going to have a chance to get enough people anyway. So every little person to them is a big deal. To me, it's not. I'm gonna find somebody else. But somebody else, most people, every little person. So if something like that happens, man, they just gonna lose it. Or you might have situations where that's another subject. We can talk about that later on. But your reputation, Your reputation, when people they hear your name, what do they think? Why? This is why they're not listening. This is not why they won't talk to you. This is why they won't get started with you. Number 6, people are suspicious of you. You seem kind of sneaky. They're suspicious of you. Let's say you're on a job and you've been kind of standoffish from people, a little sneaky. And now here you go presenting something to them. And they're already looking at you a little side eye anyway, like you've been, I don't know, you might be one of them people that brown nose. You know what I mean by that. You might be the one always brown nosing with the manager or something. They just like, now here you come, smiling to them, telling them about your BYOB business. And they thinking, your little sneaky self ain't said nothing to me the whole time I've been in this company. And you be in that office brown nosing. Now you telling me about something that, hey, you might have something that could change their life for real. It might be, the BYOB could really do something, but that's the reason they're not listening. Because they've been watching you the whole time. They've been checking you out. Yeah, people know you can't come to a person if you've been kind of standoffish with them and saying, okay, now I got somebody to talk to you about. They know that. They know that you're using them for that reason. Yep. They know it. Because there's no way that you could operate that way in that office with them and them not know it. But see, you know they know it, but you don't care because you didn't have anything to offer to them. Now you got a business you can offer to them, and you go to them, and now you act like you wondering why they act like that. They know. They know. That's reasons they don't listen to you. That's another reason. And then you want to say, well, I ain't nothing to do with that. But you kind of know how you would treat them and how you treat people. That was number 6. Now, number 5, this is one that yes, this is one that's real. It's really real. I've been around long enough to see this. It's really real too. Your breath stink. Halitosis. And you all up in their face, your breath stink. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with your breath stink. And you always using the high words. You can't monitor your breath. If you're getting in people's face all the time, I'm just telling you, they don't want to hear from you. They ain't listening to you. Man, I'm telling you. And it might not be on the norm, but the times that you in their face, you done just ate some with garlic or onions, and or your breath might be that way all the time. That might be a secret going around the office about you. Ask somebody. Keep some peppermints with you. If you're going to be up in somebody's face all the time, detox. Because a lot of times the breath comes from detox, and it's what's in here. You got to detox, get that stuff out of you, man. Sometimes peppermint ain't gonna help. That's bad when peppermint ain't gonna help, but you got to. You got that. You got that halitosis. Ooh. Ooh. They ain't listening. All right. Now this is one too. And that's why we have to practice edification and know who we're dealing with and know, because people look at this they look at it a lot. They make more money than you. And so they look at you as, and you don't know how to properly edify to give them, the edification they need. You don't know how to say that, hey, I know you balling out. I know you, but you coming to them almost if, like my man in that old raggedy car talking about asking me how to get rich. How you going? So they already feel like, I love those people that feel like if they're making more money than you, or they feel like they're making more money than you. I love those people because I know how to edify those people. I know how to make them feel good. Some people don't know how to do that. Some people just feel like, I don't, I just, but understand, if they feel like they're much better than you, they feel like they're making more money than you, you got to figure out how to talk to them and edify them and let them know, man, I know you baller. And this might be for you, may not, but I got somebody, man, that's kind of remind me of you. I just love to say that one. Man, they remind me of you. They did remind me of you. They had 2 arms, 2 legs, a mouth, a head. They remind me of you. I ain't saying how they remind me of you. But you got to figure out how to put that person and let somebody else talk with them, because if they feel like they got ups on you, I'm telling you, it's hard for a person who have a little bit more money. Maybe they think their car might be a little nicer. They ain't trying to hear that from you. And that's what you got to say, man. I know another sharp person remind me of you. Speaking of that, number 3, their degree is bigger than yours. They got a master's degree from Bob Berinsky University in Portland, Oregon or something. You went to Bob Berinsky? But they feel like, hey, man, and I'm telling you, you might think, well, I don't know, Tony. I'm telling you, is reasons why people don't listen. That same person, if somebody else walk in the room that they know might have a master's degree, or they know might be, like Miss Dyer, what's a general in the Army or something, or I hope I'm not belittling that it was a general. Man, I'm a major. That's right. Don't put me in the category of is a major higher than a general, Miss Dyer? Oh, I promoted you. Okay. 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 Good. But I'm saying, some people like, those titles, man. It's like, you don't put me in that category. And they feel like they need, that's why I remember how we used to, when we did meetings, we used to find people and introduce them to them if they're on the same level or something like that. A lot of that kind of stuff you have to do over the phone now on Zoom or something, if you can get people to hear it without them thinking it's some kind of marketing, which it is, but you can't make it seem that way. Everything is marketing, but you can't make it seem like it's marketing. All right. Number 2. People are sometimes they're not listening because they're so self-centered that they only live and care about themselves. They will only listen if it's about them. And that's how you have to make it seem about them. You have to, like I said, I'm good at that. Making a person feel like it's about them. You have to, because they're so self-centered. They don't, they're not trying to hear about something. You got to hear about something that, make them feel like if they are part of it, then it's going to be something special. Almost like, you the person that will just fit right in. They're so self-centered ego, they talking about themselves all the time. The masters of talking in third party. That's the funniest thing in the world, man, when you see people talking in third party. That is, but people do that. I got a partner like that. Every time, it's almost like he ain't in the room. I'm like, his name is David, and he always talk about, David don't like that, man. Shoot, man, if you want to holler at David, you want to get. I'm like, man, you David. What you mean you ain't like David ain't even in the room or something? David don't play that, man. Oh, okay. People who know David, they don't. You David, man. If y'all watch baseball back in the day, Bobby Bonita was like Bobby Bonita, man, Bobby don't. He was a master third party. Bobby B. If you want to talk to Bobby B, I thought I was talking to Bobby B. All right, number 1, drum roll. The number 1 reason, in my opinion, people don't listen and don't want to sign up a lot of times is that they hear what they want to hear because of their own programming. And as you get older, the programming gets worse because it sticks with you the whole time. It's like the sunglasses that you wear. They see, like I said, they see their reality. And, we can see reality, but they see their reality. That's their programming that they have, that it's hard for them to get past that. And if it's never addressed, and you get older and older and older, it's just there. It's going to be, I don't care what you say to them. I don't care what you do. They're going to hear and see what they've been thinking for years. They're going to hear that and think it's just some people you just can't, you're not going to be able to shake them. You're not going to be able to break those thoughts that they have already about whatever it is. I don't care what it is, especially the industry that we're involved in is outside of the box. And most people have been conditioned to think inside that box. And so if it's, you're not going to, I don't care what you do. It's outside of that box. And they've been thinking that way for the longest. And now here you come. It's just, you know, you can, from my experience, I can pick that up right away. A lot of times people don't until they go 3 or 4 times with them and figure out that these people are just, you know, they're not. They just, that's who they are. And that's what they're going to continue to be. And they're going to stay that way. That programming is strong, man, because we all are running on programs. Everything that we do is based on programs. Now, some of us have learned to shape, you know, deprogram and reprogram. A lot of us haven't. So, but when that person's running that program for so long, you can forget it. You can, even if you wind up getting them to enroll or get them, they're going to fall back. They're going to go right back to where they are. They're not going to, you know, some people might just do it just to get you out of their hair because you didn't hounded them to death, but they still thinking in their mind, no, I ain't do that. I don't care how much information you put in front of them. They just program that's what they are. So they're not gonna give in on that. So, all right, quick recap. Number 10, people have so much on their mind. There's so many things they're multitasking. They got everything going on inside of their head that they can't really hear you. You have to kind of keep coming back to them and you know, ask them, hey, what did I just say? If you don't mind, you know, just, you got to keep, because you can leave the situation thinking they heard you, but they didn't. They didn't hear you. Number 9, your physical appearance. People look at that. I don't care how, it's been proven. You know, I always say you walk into a hotel and depends on how you dress is how they talk to you. You walk on a car lot like that. Now, people should learn, but no, we've been conditioned to think that way. We've been conditioned to think that way. And folks, you know, if you're trying to get a point across, you got to understand that. Number 8, talking too loud or talking too softly. Well, people don't, you know, you talk too soft, people don't think you really believe what you're doing. If you're talking too loud, they thinking you crazy as I don't know what. They really do. Number 7, your reputation. You got a reputation out here that, you know, party animal, or not somebody gonna stick to what they're doing. You know, you got a reputation that, you know, you got to address. Number 6, people suspicious of you because you, at the job, you never said anything to them. You never talked with them. You always brown nosing in the office with the manager, and now here you come with an opportunity that you want to talk to me about, and now you want to talk to me. You know, know about you. Number 5, halitosis. Your breath is awful. All right, get away from me. Number 4, they figure that they, you know, they Big Willie style. They got more money than you, so you can't be talking to them. You can't approach them with something. You know who I am. And see, there's ways around that, though. I mean, there's a lot of ways around that, but you got to understand that. Number 3, their degree is bigger than yours. They went to Bob Boriski University in Portland with a master's degree. Bob Boriski. You only went to FAMU, man. Took went to Bob Boriski, like, what FAMU? What, fam who? There's a Bob. You ain't gonna know Bob Berinsky. Number 2, self-centered. They live in this small world and can care less about anything but themselves. And you got to figure out how to talk to a self-centered person because they don't, you know. Number 1, the programming. Ain't know about Jackson State, man. Everybody know about Jackson State. Trying to say, if a Dion there, y'all, nobody knew about that. Man, please. Everybody knew about D. Jackson State University, the sonic boom of the South, often imitated, never duplicated. It makes us the one and only. But the programming got people so messed up. You know, you've been thinking this one way for so long. And it's hard to take them glasses off because you just been thinking that way. And that programming is there, man. You know, I don't care what you do. It's like, you know, I don't care how many times you talk to some people about network marketing, they still don't. They just don't. And it sounds so crazy, right? Because, you know, I've been doing this 30 years, and to me, it's the best way to do business. And it sounds crazy when somebody else just don't get it, and they don't get it, that I don't get it, that they're acting that way. But that's their program. I got my program running. You know, and you have to like keep moving. So those are the 10 reasons. Like I said, there's a million more, but those are some of the reasons that people don't listen. They don't join. They don't slow down to talk because of those things. So let's make sure we know that these things could be going on. And so we won't let some of those be a reason to slow us down. We won't let some of those things pause us or keep a person from enrolling because of something that we've done. I always try to make sure that everything I've done, I did what I could the right way. And so if they decide not to, you know, like I said all the time, I can't make them have a credit card. I can't make them have money on a credit card. But if I did everything else I was supposed to do to the best of my ability, then hey, that's it. What Art Williams said, all you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough. So, all right. We out of here, man. Appreciate everybody for coming on, plugging in. We'll be back tomorrow. I can't say same time, same bat station, but we will be here tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Willie. Appreciate it. Man, y'all have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Check that breath, though.